They won't even realize why their thoughts bend toward you, why every ordinary moment becomes haunted by your presence, why their emotions shift in ways they cannot explain. But what you must understand from the very beginning is this. Obsession is not born out of love alone. It is not born out of admiration alone. It is not even born out of fear alone. Because true obsession is a careful design, a masterpiece of human psychology, an orchestration of presence and absence, of intimacy and distance, of clarity and confusion. And when Machiavelli wrote of power, when he warned of the delicate balance between cruelty and kindness, he was pointing toward the truth that obsession is the most reliable tool of control, because once you live rent-free in the mind of another, their choices are no longer their own. Their habits begin to twist in your direction. Their identity begins to orbit around you, and they call it love, but in reality, it is compulsion. Machiavelli himself never used the word obsession, but he described it in his own ruthless terms, when he declared that men are driven by two primal forces, love and fear. And yet anyone who studies the hidden layers of influence knows there is something deeper, something sharper, something more binding, because love may fade and fear may weaken, but obsession is a chain that does not break. The fire that consumes without rest, the hunger that grows stronger when unfed. So how do you create it? How do you spark it? How do you take the vague attention of another human being and transform it into a relentless fixation, an unending search for your meaning, a never-solved riddle of your existence? The answer is the same strategy that Machiavelli himself would have whispered in the halls of Florence. The same philosophy that makes kings kneel and lovers unable to breathe without your shadow. Obsession is not born for what you give. It is ignited by what you withhold. Do not misunderstand this, because most people believe they can make others obsessed by showering them with affection, with validation, with constant reassurance. But what they create in doing so is comfort, and comfort is a killer of curiosity, and curiosity is the seed of obsession. When someone feels they have you fully, when they believe they understand every part of you, when they predict your every reaction, the fire goes out, the mystery collapses, the hunt ends, and human psychology demands the hunt, demands the chase, demands a puzzle. Obsession begins not when they feel safe, but when they feel uncertain, not when they have answers, but when they're left with questions, not when they're filled, but when they are starved. You must starve them of certainty, starve them of predictability, starve them of full access, because a brain despises unfinished patterns, despises incomplete pictures, despises unresolved tension. And when you become the puzzle that never solves, the maze without a map, you lodge yourself into their mind as a question that must be answered, and they will not stop circling you, decoding you, analyzing you, and in doing so they give you their most precious resource, mental real estate. The moment you answer every question, the moment you reveal every secret, the moment you become predictable, the moment you are fully known, the obsession dies, the mystery evaporates, and they move on to the next puzzle. But if you withhold, if you speak in fragments, if you give silence where they expect answers, if you disappear when they lean in, if you contradict yourself with precision, then they begin to burn with the need to solve you, to complete you, to understand you, and in this burning you become their obsession. Machiavelli himself played this game not with lovers but with rulers, with nobles, with soldiers who longed for his loyalty but never fully received it, who sought his approval but never fully secured it, who believed they knew his allegiance only to discover his words always held a shadow of ambiguity. He mastered the art of never giving what was most craved, and in doing so he made himself irreplaceable, unforgettable, unescapable, because the human mind is addicted not to what it has but to what it almost has, not to what understands but to what it almost understands, not to what is complete, but to what is incomplete. Once you have planted this hunger, once you have sparked this uncertainty, you must feed it carefully, strategically, because obsession is not built in a single day. It is sculpted like stone, carved with precision, refined with patience. You give them a taste of what they desire, but never the full meal. You reveal a fragment of yourself, but never the full picture. You show warm for a moment, then turn to ice. You give them praise one day and criticism the next. You let them feel chosen. Then you vanish as if they were forgotten. This is called intermittent reinforcement. The same psychological principle that makes gamblers sit for hours at slot machines. Because the human brain becomes addicted not to consistent reward, but to unpredictable reward. Not stability, but to chaos. Not a certainty, but to hope. You must become hope itself. The hope of closeness. The hope of intimacy. The hope of understanding. The the hope of being chosen. And then you must withdraw it, delay it, fracture it, because hope, once weaponized, is more addictive than love will ever be. They will check their phone for your message. They will reread your words again and again. They will replay your voice in their mind. They will wonder what they did wrong. They will wonder what you are thinking. They will question themselves endlessly. And in that endless questioning, you grow larger than life inside their head, a presence far greater than reality, a haunting echo that does not leave. Now listen carefully, because here is the deepest truth Machiavelli understood. Obsession is not created only by pleasure. It is created by pain, and not the pain you deliver, but the pain they already carry, the hidden wound of rejection, the silent scar of abandonment, the insecurity that gnaws at them in the dark. You do not need to create these wounds. You only need to position yourself as the one who sees them, the one who understands them, the one who listens without judgment, the one who makes their hidden pain feel seen. And once they believe you're the only one who understands, the only one who can soothe what no one else can touch, they will chain themselves to you willingly. You do not demand obsession. You provoke it. You do not ask for loyalty. You make yourself unforgettable. You do not beg to be loved. You become the story that never ends, the riddle that never solves, the fire that never dies.